Good evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jerry D'Ambrosio, Senior Instructor with VectorVest, and it's my pleasure to present tonight's special presentation titled Checklist for Making Money. I've had an opportunity to hear from a lot of our clients lately, and they tell me how tough it's been to make money in the market these days. They do tell me, though, that they follow a plan which keeps them out of harm's way, especially in difficult market conditions. It's crucial we go into each and every trading day with a systematic approach to help us increase our odds of consistent success in the stock market. And tonight I'm going to share with you a checklist for making money that we feel will increase those odds. The first item on the checklist is read VectorVest Views. VectorVest Views is a nightly newsletter designed to keep you up to speed on what's going on with the market each and every day. Monday through Thursday, the components of the VectorVest Views: timing section, which analyzes the movement of the VectorVest composite or the broad market, and it also analyzes our other key market timing indicators, the RT of the VVC, the buy to sell ratio, and the market timing indicator. And just below that is a summary section. We wrap up and analyze the trends of those indicators, and we summarize it for you right here in the views. Notice as of the close of last night, we currently have an up situation, which simply means that the short-term trend of the market is up and the underlying trend of the market is up as well. And if I scroll down to the bottom, we can take a look at the color guard over the last 3 weeks, and here is that up situation that I was referring to right here in the trend column. The first up means that the primary trend of the market is up, which is determined by the week-to-week movement of the VectorVest composite. The primary wave is up because the VVC price is higher than it was 5 days ago, and the underlying trend is up because the MTI is currently above the value of 1. And what we're able to see here is the color guard over the last 3 weeks, and we can see a transition taking place from mostly yellow lights, which does indicate a neutral market condition, to more and more green lights, which is telling us that the market itself is rising. If I scroll back up to the top, in the views we also give guidance for prudent and aggressive investors. And this section covers the different investment styles, and it helps each and every one of you know how to approach each trading day. On Fridays, the views is a little bit more comprehensive. I'm just going to take our date back to last Friday here. At the top, we have our overview section, and really the most important section is Dr. DeLito's essay, is the overview section. And here is where Dr. DeLito shares his over 40 years of experience in the stock market, and the views on Friday provide a wealth of information. Now, one of the underutilized sections of the views is this section over on the left hand side. If you have a topic in mind that you want to learn more about, just simply type it in the text to search for box and then click on search views, and you will see every essay, every strategy section, any strategy of the week that refer to covered calls. The second item on our checklist is check the color guard. The color guard here is located right on the home page, and it helps us determine the short-term trend of the market. Currently, remember, we have an up situation. Each of our market timing indicators are higher on a week-over-week basis. We can see that here with the price of the VVC, the RT, the buy to sell ratio, and the MTI. I'll talk about each of these indicators a little bit more in a second. But right here from the home page, we are able to gauge the short-term trend of the market, and the market timing gauge up at the top says the color guard is currently neutral, and VectorVest advocates caution when buying stocks at this time. So while the color guard gives us the short-term trend, the gadget over on the right-hand side to the right of the color guard is the MTI, which helps us identify the underlying trend of the market. So again, we currently have an up situation. The second up, again, refers to the underlying trend, and we can see that the MTI is currently above 1. Price of the VectorVest composite is higher on a week-over-week basis, so both the short-term trend and the underlying trend of the market are currently up. That brings us to the third item on our checklist is read the strategy section. We saw the strategy section in the VectorVest Views. It's also located right here on the home page. If I scroll down, notice we have a strategy box right below top RT Industries, and the first thing you want to do to start your day or to end your day is to watch the daily color guard report. So you can click on this button here, watch the video. It opens up our daily color guard report from the night before. Once you watch the video, you can read the strategy section right here. So as of the close of yesterday, based on our market timing indicators, strategy section says gains in the technology sector led Wall Street into positive territory today. So again, with 3 green lights and that up situation, there is the guidance for both prudent and aggressive investors. And what we also do is list the best performing strategies in the Derby over the last 1 day and over the last 5 days as well. So folks, you get so much information here right on the home page. The color guard tells us when to buy, and the strategy section on the home page helps us determine what to buy. I talked about the MTI graph over here on the right. Now we're just looking at the last few months of the MTI. If you wanted to change that, you click on the configure button. Right now we're looking at end of day 3 months. You can expand that to 6 months if you'd like. So here we're looking at the movement of the MTI over the last 6 months, and what we can see here is it's spent the majority of the time above 1. So again, that indicates the underlying trend of the market has been up for most of the last 6 months. So while on the home page, we analyze our indicators, the price of the VVC, the RT, the buy to sell ratio, and the MTI. And I think more important than the levels of those indicators are their trends. Are the indicators strengthening or are the indicators weakening? And to do that, we're going to go into the most important graph in the VectorVest program, and that's a market timing graph. I'm going to click on graphs, change our type here to market timing, and we just talk quickly about what we see here on the graph. Price of the VectorVest composite is up at the top in candlesticks. The MTI, the buy to sell ratio, and the RT are the indicators below the price of the VectorVest composite. So we observe the levels of these indicators on the home page, but the graph allows us to determine whether these indicators are strengthening or weakening. As of the last week or so, each indicator is rising. It looks like they're starting to hit now higher highs and higher lows as well. So the market's beginning to go up, and that's indicated here with the price of the VectorVest composite rising. Our other key indicators, the MTI, the buy to sell ratio, and the RT are also rising as well. It's important to note that each indicator is also above 1. The MTI and the RT are scaled on a 0 to 2 basis. Above 1 is favorable, below 1 is unfavorable, and it's really important to note that the MTI and the RT, along with the buy to sell ratio, are all above 1, which indicates a strengthening market. If I uncheck the MTI and the RT, buy to sell ratio is a key component of our market timing signal. And let me go into a 1-year graph. Notice when the buy to sell ratio is below 1, the market is in a very weak situation, a weak state. And then when the buy to sell ratio goes above 1, meaning that there are more buy rated stocks than sell rated stocks, we can see the market begins to strengthen. And over the last 6 months, the buy to sell ratio for the most part has remained above 1. Same thing with the RT. Notice when the relative timing of the VVC is below 1, the market is steadily falling. When the RT crosses above 1, we could see that the market begins to steadily rise. So again, the values of these indicators are extremely important, but just as important is whether they are strengthening or weakening. Next on our checklist is decide whether you are bullish or bearish. Now this is pretty straightforward. All you need to do is refer back to the home page, the color guard, and the VectorVest Views, and right at the top of the home page is the market timing gauge, which clearly states when to buy and also when not to buy. Next, After you decide if you are bullish or bearish, is check the status of your portfolio. And the Portfolio Genius is an excellent tool to help us manage our existing positions. In the Genius, you are able to track each position in your portfolio. The Genius allows you to see the intraday equity curve of your portfolio if you have VectorVest 7 intraday or real time. It also allows you to see an end of day equity curve as well. Here are the list of stocks in this portfolio. Gives you the purchase date, how many shares you bought, the current price, the dollar change and the percent change in price from the previous day's close. And in this portfolio, it also gives us the relative timing values of each stock in our portfolio. The current recommendation, your cost per share, your gain per share, cost basis, the current market value, your gain in dollar amount, and this other indicator here, return on investment. Now what we're seeing here, folks, is mostly portfolio analysis indicators. Another great thing about the Genius is you are also able to keep track of the fundamentals of the stocks in your portfolio as well. So if you right click on the top stock, go to layout, you can add to this spreadsheet our key fundamental stock analysis indicators. So if I wanted to add RV over, I'd click on RV, click on this little arrow here that points to the right. I can also add RS, and I can also add VST to the spreadsheet as well. Notice where it puts each indicator down at the bottom. If I click on OK, I'm able to see, if I right click, just auto fit those columns, I'm able to see the fundamentals along with the buy, sell, or hold recommendation for each stock. And here I'm able to determine if the fundamentals of the stocks in my portfolio are strengthening or deteriorating. The portfolio analysis there brings us to the next item on our checklist, and that's decide what you must sell. There are 3 times when you should consider selling a stock. Number 1, when it hits your predetermined stop criteria. If VectorVest gives the stock a sell rating, that simply means that the price of the stock has gone below its 13-week moving average. When we give a stock a sell rating, you should seriously consider selling that stock. Or when VectorVest issues a confirmed down signal. Confirmed down signal means that the market has fallen week over week for the last 2 weeks, and that all-important buy to sell ratio indicator goes below 1. After you decide what you must sell, if you're bullish, decide what to buy. Remember, if you're more of a prudent to conservative investor, you can select top VST stocks, for example, or maybe our worry-free investing trading system. If you're more aggressive, you can consider our top derby searches maybe that are found in the VectorVest Views every day. If you're bearish, take defensive actions. This means that when, let's say, the primary wave turns down or the MTI starts to fall from a level of 1.5, means to tighten up your stop criteria. Or if you trade options, you can sell covered calls to help offset the loss of the underlying stock position. You can even use that premium from the sale of the call to help pay for insurance in the form of a put option. Now this trade is called a collar, and if you'd like to learn more about a collar trade or anything really, remember you can go into the VectorVest Views and search for that topic of interest. And finally, read VectorVest Views. We start our day reading the views, and we end our trading day reading the views once again. Once the system is updated, this way you are prepared for the next day. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation, and for your convenience, I've inserted a PDF of the checklist for making money in the views tonight. Have a great weekend, everybody. See you next week.